Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Here we are. Good morning.
Good morning, and here we are towards the end of November,
goodness.
We got December and Christmas, and
Yeah.
holidays are here.
The holidays are here. And it's amazing how quickly 2022 went
I know.
by. And I guess all of a sudden it's November.
Yeah,
And we're at the end of November. How does that happen?
I can't believe it.
I don't know. It's nuts.
Yeah, I cannot believe it. Yeah, we're pushing 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, we've had the market has been pretty interesting over these past couple of years.
Yeah.
And it typically around in November, I mean, the market slows down,
Yeah.
so it's not, this isn't like abnormal or anything, but I mean, the market has slowed down a little bit.
Absolutely, it's slowed, and again, it's normal this time of year. Holidays, people are doing other things besides looking. Now, that doesn't mean the activity goes to total zero, because there are people that still have looked and said, "Hey, I need to move." So there's still demand out there. There's still folks out looking. But thought maybe this week we'd talk a little bit about, from a buyer's perspective.
Yeah.
What's the process look like? And there's examine your why, which we talked about last
week, right? Yeah.
Are you ready? Financially, emotionally, all of those things, and then okay. Now we're going to implement. We're ready to go. We've examined all those pieces, and we're ready to go buy. What's the first thing we need to do?
Well, you want to get your pre-approval, but I mean, we talked about this,
Pre-approval.
Pre-approval.
That's the resounding theme. That's a Markism, right?
Yeah,
there.
totally.
Get your pre-approval. Get your pre-approval. Many times we get those calls, for a call from Zillow, somebody that just, hey, it's Sunday afternoon, I'm thinking I just want to go look at a house.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, they hit the contact an agent, they get connected with an agent.
Okay.
And, hey, I'd like to go see this house. What's the first thing an agent's going to do?
Are you pre-approved? I mean,
let's talk about your process. Where you at in the process? Well, we'd just like to go look at this house. Well, have you talked to a lender about financing, or are you going to pay cash? Right? Yeah. That's an easy way for me to say, well, I'm not questioning your ability to finance, but if you're paying cash, have you talked to a lender? No, we just wanted to see the house. Yeah. Now, is that a sure way to get somebody to run out there and show you the property?
No,
put yourself in that agent's position. Right. Put yourself in the seller's position. When a seller lists their property, they want to make sure that qualified people come in to look at their house.
Of course, for sure.
People that can buy. Because when you request that showing, the seller's got to leave. They're not there.
And they got to take the dog.
And they got the
blah,
dog,
blah, blah.
their kids,
in
the middle of whatever.
Yeah.
So, have some respect for the folks that you're looking at. Now you get it's an empty house, what difference does it make? Well, then if nothing else, have some respect for the agent that you've just called up to do. Now, is it our job? And I'm not whining. I'm not woe, it's me, it's terrible, this, that, or the other thing. But as an agent, I've got a job to do. And as a professional, I want to make sure that I'm showing qualified buyers.
Yeah. And if you're not willing to go out and get pre-approved, then are you really serious about buying a house? Yeah, so that goes back to your why, and I mean, you're right. You're really just not ready.
Right, you're not ready to do it.
Yeah.
It's just not on a whim. Let's go. If that's the case, there's plenty of open houses that are out there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I might get some pushback on this. Well, you should show anybody. I've called an agent. They're working for me. They should show. No, I'm not working for you. It's a joint decision if we're going to work together or not.
Yeah, right.
And if it doesn't fit for me, that's great. And if it doesn't fit for you, that's okay too.
Right.
But the bottom line, have some respect for the business, have some respect for what's going on, and get that pre-approval. That's the first step from a buyer. If you don't know where to go, call an agent. And we'll be happy to get you some options. I can't tell you this is who you need to use. That's illegal. But, I can give you options after we have a little discussion, because there are certain lenders that do a better job with folks that have less than perfect credit. Yeah. And there are certain lenders that, they do well with creative loans.
Well, yeah, you've got a work history with people. So
That's correct.
You know
That's
these
correct.
people. Yeah.
So get your pre-approval, and then once you've got that pre-approval, and you've reached out to an agent, set your criteria geographically. From Syracuse to Claypool is a pretty broad range. Now, we can cover the whole county. We can go to the next county. But I've had people that are looking from, southern Indiana into northern Michigan. And the reality is I don't have access to that information in northern Michigan. I don't have access to stuff down in southern Indiana. Nor do I know anything about the market. I can't do a good job for you.
Right.
So you've got your pre-approval, you know what price range you're working in. Geography comes into play.
Yeah.
Where are you looking?
Yeah.
Many times, especially in our area, being a lake agent, I mean, we sell a lot of property in and around the lakes. You'll get people from Chicago that are looking, they just want a lake house. Well, what kind of lake house? Do you want lakefront, channel front? Do you want an all sports lake, a non-ski lake? What kind of vibe, if not, for lack of better terminology, are you looking for on a lake? Some people want a party lake. Some people want peace and solitude.
Yeah.
So, those are the questions that we're asking trying to get there, but geography impacts a lot of that. So focus your search into a specific area, and it doesn't have to be, a 3-block range. It can be broader, but it's awful hard to help somebody when their only criteria is price. Well, I want to buy a $300,000 house. Okay. Somewhere in the state of Indiana. Great.
Okay. Yeah.
That really narrows it down.
Right.
I can really help you.
Yeah.
So, as a buyer, don't take offense when an agent is probing, asking these questions. What they're trying to do is figure out how can I best help you. Okay. So once we've got pre-approval, we know what the price range, we've got the geography figured out, we can, as an agent, set up a search to email you listings that meet your criteria as you go along.
Yep.
And you get emailed those as soon as they hit on the market. So once we've done that, now we're getting ready to go look at homes.
Okay.
Right? So we've got the search set. We picked out a few that we want to go look at. Now we can get out there and take a look at them.
All right. After the break, we're going to talk more about this. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm your host, Woody Zimmerman, here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes, and we're talking about being ready to buy a property.
Yep. So we've gone through hey, we're pre-approved. We've reached out to an agent, got a search set up, picked the geographic area, and now we're getting ready to go look at homes. Well, granted, it's still moving pretty quickly in pockets, so you need to be flexible on ability to see. Many times we get that call on a Monday for a listing that just hit Monday. Well, I'm coming into town next weekend. Can I see this house?
Yeah.
Can you schedule me? I can't be there till Saturday. Well, I get that. I mean, we all have work schedules, things are going on. But then don't be upset if the property's gone and sold before you get there. Because even though we're starting to slow, it is still moving rather quickly. Not every property, but some properties are. The lakes have slowed down, so if it's somebody coming in from out of town to see a lake property, more understandable. They're probably going to get an opportunity on the weekend. But if it's in downtown Warsaw or in the Warsaw proper, city of Warsaw, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's priced right, there's going to be a lot of people looking at it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go. I mean, it's just more homes sell in the Warsaw market than do in the others. There's more people looking in the Warsaw market. It's more than likely going to move. So be flexible on scheduling. Typically, day in advance, schedule. If the home's occupied. If it's vacant, you can get in there. But again, be respectful, and this is a plug for the industry. Try and be respectful of our time. Do you call your doctor at 11 o'clock at night and say, can I get in at, tomorrow at 6 a.m.? Right? Do you do that?
No, you don't do that.
You don't do that. And I'm not equating a realtor with a doctor.
Yeah, right.
But what I'm saying is have some respect for their time.
Well, no, but I'm just thinking like when I go to the doctor, I'm supposed to be there at 10, but then I don't
get
see till 11.
Whatever. And you're sitting there going,
and then,
what?
Respectful of my time.
I'm with you. I am with you. And that, so again, it's just a respect thing.
Yeah.
It's professionalism. You want to see it tomorrow, let's schedule. And then be on time and be there.
Yeah.
It's funny. Through the years, I've been doing this a long time now. You get clients that they're going to be 15 minutes late.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Every single time. So if I schedule a half-hour showing, half the showing's gone before they get there.
Right.
And then that's the one they like, and they want to be there for an hour, and the showing's back-to-back after us.
Right.
Be on time, be respectful. All the things that we're supposed to do anyways.
Right.
But sometimes we need a reminder of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've got our showing scheduled. When you get to the house to look at it, be respectful of the property, if nothing else. If you've got your kids, keep them under control.
Right.
For lack of better term, that's probably a terrible way to say that. But I've seen them come loose and it's like, nah,
Yeah,
and where they go, they got to touch everything.
Oh, I
this,
know.
that, and that. You know, when I have grandkids, I get it.
Yeah.
I raised my own kids. I get it. Mine didn't act that way.
Yeah.
At least I sure hope they didn't.
Right, yeah.
You know, I don't recall that. But it drives me. I spend the grandpa time, you know, watching the kids so that they're not destroying the house that we're showing.
Right.
So, you know, and you don't need to bring the entire posse when you come to look at the house. Bring the decision makers in to look at the house. You know, and that started with COVID to where it was only the folks that were purchasing.
Right.
You know, and I get it. You know, you want dad's input, you want mom's input, you want aunts, uncles, niece, nephew, everybody's input. That's all good, but on the initial, let's go and see if we even want to purchase this property before we bring the whole posse along.
Yeah, right.
Right? So let's make a decision. Yes, we want to do it. And I know when things are moving quickly, that's why you got 10 people to look at it. But the sellers opened up the house for you for a given period of time. Stay within that time window. That's the whole point.
No, that makes sense.
And, you know, get in there. You can make a decision reasonably quickly. It either fits or it doesn't. If you walk in and the place doesn't speak to you, then you don't spend 3 hours looking at the house. It doesn't make any sense. It either fits or it doesn't fit. Now I get some people need time to process. My wife and I, 2 different processes. I can make a quicker decision than she can. She's a thinker. I'm a more reactive. I'm like, okay, yep, makes sense. Let's go.
Yeah.
I understand that. I'm not saying you don't have the time to make the decisions that you want to make, but just be cognizant that you've got a shorter window. You got to evaluate those pieces and then leave and think about it from that point. So take the data that you need in order to make your decision while they're looking at the property.
It is, I admit, it is a very, very tough decision to make. But when you do walk up to that home, I mean, it's like, then it becomes like very easy. It's like, yes, this is it. You know, when you find it, this is it. This is the house that I want. I can see, you know, having unborn, you know, kids of the future, you know, I mean, kids that you don't have yet, playing in the front yard, you know.
All the things that, you know, we've planned out or we're thinking, what can we do with this? But you're not going to completely redesign that house to fit you in the half-hour, 45-minute showing that you have scheduled.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, you need to see the opportunity, the possibilities, and then take those away and then decide, is it going to fit? But in that time that you're there, look at the whole property. Don't focus just in the living room. How can I change this, that, or the other thing?
Yeah.
Get enough data to where, hey, I can make a good decision. Either this is for me or it's not for me. So we've looked at that house. If you decide that's the one, crunch the numbers with your agent and write the best offer you can. That's still my best advice.
Yeah, and that still is, even though the market is slowing down, you still want to put your best foot forward. Yeah. You definitely want to put your best foot forward. Okay, well, it's going to be interesting. 2023 is going to be interesting as well, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We can't prognosticate, you know.
Not yet.
As we
get to the end of 22, we'll talk about what I think's coming in 23.
All right, very good. Hey, Mark, very good show. Thank you for the information. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.